Okay, so the Philadelphia Eagles get a great update on AJ Brown. Meanwhile, the final nail could have just been put in Kelee Ringo's coffin on the last day of training camp. Possible trade candidate? Huh? So much to break down, including Howie Roseman working the phones. Could we get a reunion with cornerback Isaiah Rodgers? Plus, the Eagles make another roster move, signing a 25-year-old linebacker. And the Eagles just let Darius Cooper know that he will make the 53-man roster. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So as we know, the last couple days, Philadelphia Eagle players have been getting hurt left and right. From Monday to Tuesday's practice, we lost Devontae Smith, Jordan Mailata, and Tanner McKee. Then on Tuesday's practice, we lost the rookie standout safety, Andrew Makuba, and the 6'7" monster wide receiver, Johnny Wilson. But that was all the reported injuries through the last 2 days. So we shouldn't have seen anybody pop up on the injury report new, especially with it being the last day of training camp. Friday at 7:30 is the Eagles versus Jets last preseason game, which I will be live for. Make sure you come through. I know last year we kind of fell off with doing the live play-by-plays because I was going to the games, especially the playoff games. But now we back. If you rock with Philly Mike, be there tomorrow at 7:30. Anyways, back to the last day of training camp. Kelee Ringo walks out on the field in regular clothes. And so social media goes crazy, including Philly Mike, who's been a longtime supporter of Kelee Ringo. I thought this was the year he put it together to win the starting outside corner job, but it hasn't happened. Actually, he went backwards. In the beginning of training camp, first team, second team. The last week of training camp, he's only got third team defensive reps. And now, on the last day, he comes out with an injury destination, which made me think that the Eagles were possibly going to make him available in trade. You only keep a player from not practicing if he ain't hurt, if he's a trade candidate. And the Eagles are one of the most aggressive teams in the NFL, and we really trying to run it back. With that being said, when the Eagles released their injury report, he was on it with a quad injury. However, every other injury on the list was reported at some time besides his. So unless he got hurt walking to his car in the parking lot, the Eagles are hiding something, and you got to pay attention to what happens to Kelee Ringo from here to the start of the regular season. This is the write-up that Brandon Lee Gowton had on Kelee Ringo from Tuesday's practice. I wonder if Ringo's confidence is shaken right now. Not hard to understand how that could be the case after he entered camp as the favorite to start and he's since been demoted. During a special team drill where the Eagles were having gunners practice batting the ball out of the end zone to prevent touchbacks, Ringo totally flubbed an opportunity where the ball would have been down inside the 3-yard line. Later, Ringo allowed multiple Kyle McCord completions to Elijah Cook. Ringo took reps during the end of practice developmental drills for the second day in a row. Again, this is one person's observations, but this write-up is like putting a nail in the coffin. Switching over to some good injury news, look at AJ Brown run on the field. I know he has no gear on, but to me it's important. It shows that we're being more cautious with him, and he will be out there week 1 versus the Cowboys. As for the question asked to Nick Sirianni about the health of wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2, Martin Frank tweeted, Sirianni not giving up whether there's any concern about AJ and Devontae not being ready for week 1. Honestly, we all should have knew that that would be Nick Sirianni's answer. He never gives a timetable on any injury, whether it's super small or super big. I think both of them will be out there week 1. Moving on to an Eagles roster move that was made this morning as well. The Eagles have signed linebacker Chance Campbell and released wide receiver Giles Jackson. If you're wondering who the wide receiver Giles Jackson is, he was the guy who was invited to rookie tryouts, made the team. He did some good work with the second team, third team, special teams, but the Eagles are so deep at wide receiver with the emergence of Darius Cooper, who again, Brandon Lee Gowton points out that Jalen Hurts and Darius Cooper chatting it up on the sideline late in practice during developmental period. Most UDFAs will be participating in this portion, but Cooper's clearly graduated it. We also can't forget about the newly acquired wide receiver from the Texans. And again, he does have upside. He got a lot of work to put in, but John Mechie catching his first pass as a Philadelphia Eagle. As for the linebacker, Chance Campbell, he was with the Eagles linebacker coach Bobby King for 2 seasons with the Tennessee Titans. The 25-year-old linebacker was a sixth-round pick by the Titans in 2022. He did miss last season with a torn ACL. To me, this is just another body at linebacker, maybe a future special teamer if he can stay on the team. But I think the Eagles don't want to utilize Jahad Campbell or Jeremiah Trotter Jr. too much versus the Jets in the last preseason game because of the injuries are piling up. So you get the bodies, let them go out there, have fun, and maybe show the NFL world a little something. As for Howie Roseman, when he made the trade for John Mechie, an AFC GM said, watch out for Howie Roseman making another trade soon. We're not talking about him signing a linebacker. Like I said, it's interesting that Kelee Ringo all of a sudden got on the injury report. If he's injured, he's injured. But if Howie Roseman is cooking something, I'm ready to see what he's cooking. Tom Pelissero tweeted this an hour ago today. With Jordan Addison suspended and multiple injuries, the Vikings are seriously exploring veteran receivers in the trade market, per sources. All pro Justin Jefferson hamstring is on track for week 1. His early season running mate may not be on the roster. So the Vikings can use a veteran wide receiver. We got Jahan Dotson on the roster and John Mechie, and we can lose one of them due to the emergence of Darius Cooper. Now let's think closely. Who did the Vikings sign from the Eagles that Eagle fans wanted to keep? Oh, Isaiah Rodgers. I'm not saying they're 100% looking to get rid of him, but if they're in the market for a wide receiver and we can use all the help at cornerback too, not saying Ja'Cory and Bennett won't become something. I'm rooting for him as much as I was rooting for Ringo at this point, but Ringo didn't show me anything. Again, it's just funny that all this is kind of circulating around the same time. So if Howie Roseman made a move for Isaiah Rodgers, that'd be perfect. But that's not the only place he's going to look, as Underdog is quoting Diana Rusani by saying the Jets and Niners are also monitoring the trade market for potential wide receiver additions. And both them teams have some interesting people as it pertains to cornerbacks on a roster that could possibly be in a package. Just know that Howie Roseman is going to be on the phone from now until Tuesday, which is the day that every single NFL team has to make their cuts to get their roster down to 53. So the Eagles are going to have to go from what, 80 or 90 to 53, but so will 31 other organizations. Do the math. 31 times 35-ish type players per team. That's a lot of players being cut. So some teams might wait to see who gets cut so they can sign. But if teams really want to compete, you got to make a trade. That's where you'll get the best bang for your buck. But I will say one more time that there are two cornerbacks out there. If you want to go double check on them, how you could do it. Stephon Gilmore, who could bring that big play slay presence, or Asante Samuel Jr., who might bring that Isaiah Rodgers presence. And you don't got to trade for them, although you got picks and maybe have some possible trade candidates. They're open. They're chilling. They'll be cheap, and there's no trade capital needed to get them. Just think about it, Howie. With that being said, today was the last day of training camp. I'm going to break down some of the miscellaneous stuff tomorrow that's happening. Jalen Carter, last two practices, has been showing his dominance, which is good as we get closer to Eagles and Cowboys. Plus, let's go over here and shout out the bald eagle, Zack Baun, for ranking 26 on the NFL Top 100. That is now the sixth Eagle player to rank inside the Top 100, but the bald eagle never ranking to now being the 26th best player. Much respect, and he deserves it. And he gonna shine this year alongside of whoever's there. Jahad Campbell, Kobe Dean, a mixture. We will see. Like I said, tomorrow with no practice, we'll talk about some of the miscellaneous stuff that we kind of left out due to all the drama at cornerback too. We will also keep you updated on a possible trade because Howie Roseman is definitely working the phones. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section, especially about what we talked about early in the video. I love y'all to death. Once again, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when we go live or drop videos. And I will be live 7:30 on Friday. Actually a little earlier than 7:30, but I'll be live Eagle Jets. If you came through last year when I was doing it, come back through this year. We got some good stuff, giveaways and everything coming up. But until next time, you know what time it is. We out.